Now, this may seem like a minor question, but it has its own relative importance, and we've decided to address it, and that's concerned which spelling of Selassie, coming from the Amarinya and the Good is correct. Some may favor the 1L spelling in English, the anglicized form of Selassie. Now, first of all, we have to remember that Selassie is an Ethiopic word. You understand? And the name Kedamawi Haile Selassie is an Ethiopic name. And it's originally written in Ethiopic Fidelat or Ethiopic letters. And this is very key at the outset of acknowledging and understanding. But there are some of the brethren and of the brotherhood and the family and Rastafari and even other individuals outside who prefer one or the other spelling, either the one with the double L or the one with the singular L. And some question has come up when one sees some of our pages, or we put out certain videos or publications, certain media, and we have maybe the single L in this one, and then we put the double L. Some object to the double L. Now, first of all, you have to understand that coming from a Gentile, Western, white, Eurocentric misconception, as here in the Americas and here in the wilderness and here in the diaspora, if we're not familiar with the Ethiopic code and the Fidel and the Gu'ez and the Royal Amharic, the Amarinya Kwankwa, then you can understand some of the you may not be able to understand where the confusion, but we can understand where you're coming from with that. Some would say that, well, the double L. Now, here's what we know concerning this particular matter about which particular spelling. Which spelling is it? The double L Selassie or is it the singular L Selassie? Which one is correct? Coming from the English perspective, or the white Western Eurocentric, the Anglicized perspective, in other words, only seeing the name in its translation, transliteration, or pseudo transcription, it is understandable that you will have some that would favor one or the other. But actually, in English, we can say that either or is more correct than the other, with the exception of the fact that the double L spelling is what is utilized on all official documentation from the government and through the government of Kedamawi Haile Selassie. When we look at the official documentation, we find that the double L is the preferred use and official by the Ethiopian government. In fact, in Edward Ulandorf's translation of Ethiopia-Hebrew, My Life in Ethiopia's Progress, the autobiography of Kedus Abatachin, of our Father, of His Imperial Majesty, we find that he addresses that particular question about transliteration, you understand, of Amharic spellings of particular names and certain reasons for or against the particular use of one or the other. But it is very important for us to understand that Selassie is an Amharic or Ethiopic word, and therefore if you're coming from a Amharic or Ethiopic overstanding, it's either or. And this is one of the reasons why even during the time of His Imperial Majesty, he came across, of course, the singular L spelling, and that did not require any rebuke on the behalf of the imperial government. That so both were actually in progress at the same time. So it's a matter more or less of choice, personal choice, but really the root, the grounding, to bottom out the point, is that it's an Ethiopic word sound, and therefore we have to step up to the level of our pure Kwankwa, the pure language of the King of Kings and His Christ, and to not to get lost in translation or transcription or transliterations. So to answer which one is correct, it's relative, both are relative. The root of it, if you want to see visually which one is correct, we're going to put on the screen right here which one would actually be most correct. This, the Ethiopic Fidel, Fidelat, would be most correct. And either or, well, if you favor the double L, that's how the official Ethiopian documents that were translated from the Amharic by the imperial government of the King of Kings. That's how it appeared in the official documentation. But at the very same time, in the West and in the press, the singular L spelling was more or less popularized. And Edward Ullendorf, in his Imperial Majesty's autobiography, Book 1, actually touches on that particular issue and some of the concerns that he had as the official translator. And we can see in the official translation, such as Hiwate na Ethiopia Rimja, or My Life in Ethiopia's Progress, that the double L was used consistent with the official imperial government documentation. So the correct is the Ethiopic, is the Amharic, is the one that is correct. Give thanks and praise. Stay tuned. More to come. Yah willing. Salam alaikum.